Hey guys, Caleb with Black Pearl Media here. Thank you so much for stopping by. In this video, I'm going to be going over the price of what I paid for my rear mount turbocharging system. So let's get into it. So if you guys are new to the channel, I really want to encourage you to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It's really growing. It's taken off. I really enjoy it and would love to have you guys along. This is my 08 Nissan 350Z, and I decided to pull the trigger on a rear mount system this past year. And it's been quite a journey getting it put together, and I just want to break down the cost of what it took to get it there. Cost is probably one of my #1 questions I get about the build, but to be honest with you, it's really gonna depend on what vehicle you're working on, what material you get, what way you go to it, what your skills are, who you know. Everything comes into play when it comes to cost. So I'm gonna run through a list of all the parts, materials, and things that I used in my build, which will hopefully give you at least a ballpark estimate of where you should be when pricing out and budgeting out a kit like this. And there are a lot of factors like I just mentioned previously, so keep that in mind, but hopefully this will give you a little bit better of an idea of what you should be budgeting. So we're gonna start with the fuel. I upgraded my fuel pump to a Woolbro 255. I could have gone bigger. I might go bigger in the future, but for right now, it's just fine for what I'm shooting for. And then I also upgraded my injectors. I have ID 1050s from a Nissan GTR. Now the GTRs, they come with, I think, 550s, but I went on a GTR forum. Somebody had upgraded and sold me their used ones. They usually go for between $500 and $800. I got my set for $300, and then I had a buddy of mine clean them, and they charged me about $100. So I saved a little bit of money there, but I would budget probably around $520 I wrote down because that's what I found online. Next, we have fabrication materials. This includes all your piping. I went with V-bands, all your bends, all your connectors, my intercooler core. This is all stuff that my fabricator took care of because I don't know how to fabricate. And this is one of those opportunities where you may be able to save money, or you'll have to dish out some cash for labor, which we'll talk about later. The total of all those materials came to $985. Toby, what are you doing down here, bud? What's up? My cat just came down here. You're not supposed to be down here. Christina's gonna be mad at you. With a rear mount turbocharging kit, you need to have a scavenge pump to pull the oil from the front of the car to the back of the car. I went with the Turbo Works Ultra Performance. It was like a 300 series or something. It's their biggest one. You can get them on eBay for $400, so that's what I picked up for that. I started with one, but I needed 2 tile wastegates. They are on the expensive side. I did not cheap out and go with like an eBay spec. They're $450 a piece, so I paid $900 for both of those. What is acceptable is eBay blow-off valves. You guys can argue in the comments in this one if you want. Go ahead and leave your comment, but I just went with eBay blow-off valves, and I paid $110 for 2 of them. It's a smart thing to run an oil cooler system, especially if you're gonna be driving this thing pretty hard, which I'm planning on doing. I have not gotten this yet, but it's on order. I paid $225 for an oil cooler. I also got some vacuuming going on. All right, we're gonna break for a minute. I also got a Z1 oil spacer, which has connectors for all your fittings for running your oil lines back and around. That was $128. I also purchased an AEM meth injection kit for $465. I have that in, but it's just not installed yet, so I'll be installing that soon, so keep your eye out for that video. While we're talking about AEM, let's talk about the gauges I have. I have 2 gauges. I have a wideband and I have a boost gauge, and those 2 ran me $400. I also got a pod pillar for the side of my car, right up the side on the left hand, and that cost me $85. Of course, there's the turbo as well. I went with a Precision 6262 journal bearing turbo, and I've liked it. It's really good, but that ran me $11.25. The next category is called, I'm just gonna call it odds and ends. So that's gonna be like your lines, your fittings, your hangers, your clips, your hardware, all the little stuff you really don't think about, and you should always budget around $500 for that, so that's what I did. And on top of that, we have the tune, which is gonna be $700. I paid $700 for my custom tune, got up on the dyno, and made some numbers, and I'm gonna have to pay a little bit more for the dyno because I'm gonna be going back up there once I change a few things around. Let's add these up on my 80s watch. It makes the best little noises, check it out. This hurts. This can't be real. Nobody tell my wife, okay? I don't think she watches my videos anyway, so that's good. And the grand total is $6,618. But wait, there's something I didn't consider, which is that I had an HKS exhaust on there before I started. So when I started the fabrication process, I removed the exhaust and sold that, recouping $750. So I'm going to subtract $750. So after I punch that in, it comes out to $5,868. Now this does not include any labor costs, and this is a huge margin of whether it's gonna be cheaper for you or really expensive. I'm somewhere in the middle because I helped out with the build. I didn't pay as much for putting it together. I did things myself, but the stuff like the fabrication is really gonna vary whether you can do the fabrication yourself. If you have a family member, if you've got a friend, if you need to just drop it off at a shop, say, here's all the parts, make it happen, it's gonna be a lot more expensive. So I'm not gonna factor in the labor costs, and you guys can figure that out on your own. Also, you can do it a lot more simple than I did. I did mine very, very complicated. We set it up in a way that we can easily switch it over to a twin turbo setup very, very easily. So that might happen in the future, so keep your eye out for that. There's definitely more simple ways that I could have done it. There are other ways you can save on this build as well. You can get used parts. I opted to just get new, pretty much new everything other than the injectors. I did get the injectors used off of a GTR forum. Now there are a few people I'd like to thank for helping me with the build, and I will be using their services again. One of them being the Defensive Octopus for my fabricating. He's a friend of mine. I've known him for a while through racing and stuff, and this was my first time doing any kind of fabrication work, period, and he blew it out of the water. He's very talented. He's in Connecticut. If you guys want to get hooked up with some really, really talented fabrication work, go hit him up. I'm gonna link his Instagram down below, so go hit him up for that. You gotta hit up my guy Deni if you need any performance work done. I'm gonna link him in my description as well. He probably would have said, hey man, I'll help you out with this stuff and you know, teach you how to do it. But I came to him and I was like, dude, I need to get this done in like 2 or 3 days. Can you help me? And he's like, yeah, absolutely. So he helped me put it all together. He is extremely knowledgeable. He's been doing performance on vehicles for a long, long time. So if you need any help with putting anything like this together and you're in Connecticut or the New England area, feel free to hit him up and you know, see if you guys can work something out. And also limp mode tuning. For tuning the car, they specialize in VQs, at least that's what I would say, but they do all other platforms too. So if you're watching this video and you're not gonna get this done on a, you know, a VQ motor or a Nissan or Infiniti or something like that, if you're in the Maine area, they're in Maine, they're really, really good. Go ahead and hit them up. I'm gonna link them below as well. The only supporter of the channel right now, it is a young channel, but Second Armament Apparel Company, friend of mine, really, really great shirts, hoodies, and apparel, and I think you guys should check them out. I do have a discount code linked below if you want to get some swag from them. Fits well, very comfortable, 100% American made. I mean, he could tell you where the cotton was pretty much grown and harvested and put together in the United States. So very cool product. All right, guys, so that's gonna do it for the video today. Tell me what you think about the price breakdown of my build so far. I'm sure there will be a few more things added to the list and possibly some things that I missed, but go ahead and comment on the video, like the video, and subscribe if you found this useful. We are a growing channel and I would love to have you involved. We just broke 1,100 subscribers, which is super exciting. I'm gonna be making a video about that. I really am appreciative to all my return followers, and I'm really excited to have the new followers. So thank you so much, and I will see you on the next video.